The scale of the atrocities that have been committed in Myanmar is only now becoming apparent. How many of your homes were set on fire? Asks the translator. So that's virtually everybody, virtually all of them, so their homes were attacked. This group of women have crossed over from Myanmar in the last few days. Seven members of Toyoba Begum's family were killed by soldiers. She counts them off on her fingers. Shabir, my sons Saidul Amin, Rahul Amin, Karul Amin, my two daughters, Asmut Ara and Fatima, and my granddaughter, Janat Ara.
Soldiers came. They shot at the men. Some managed to escape, but many were killed. Then they came to the homes. They beat the women mercilessly. Then they locked the doors, poured petrol on the houses, and set them on fire.
She and one daughter are the only ones who survived.
I escaped by jumping into the river. Other villagers told me my family was dead. They said, "You'd better save your life now."
Nashima Khatun is from the same village, Fatika Rauzia.
I ran to the hills. We hid there for a week. People came from lots of different villages. There were hundreds of us there. We were all starving. Then a man came. We thought he was a Muslim. He said he would show us the way. But he took us to a Buddhist village where there was a military camp. The soldiers hacked us there with machetes and shot a lot of people dead. Many of the women were raped. Some of us managed to escape into the hills. We hid there for 5 days before I finally managed to get to Bangladesh.
Of course, we can't verify these accounts, but all the refugees I've spoken to tell strikingly similar stories. And other evidence supports their claims of attacks by the army and Buddhist gangs, and of villages being set ablaze. Human Rights Watch has used satellite images to show how fires have destroyed Rohingya villages in Myanmar. It says it has evidence of 105 villages that have been burnt to the ground since the violence began 3 weeks ago. Then there is the footage shot by refugees on their mobile phones. This video was filmed by a Rohingya refugee on Wednesday and obtained by Human Rights Watch. It appears to show the moment a village is torched. Smoke rises from houses hidden behind stands of bamboo, and in the background are what look like military vehicles. We were by the river that divides Bangladesh from Myanmar that day. 5 huge plumes of smoke were rising up into the evening sky. We've collected other videos too. Homes burning, helicopters circling. Look, look, says the man, they're coming to kill us. Corpses lie in the smouldering wreckage of a village, bodies in the river. And then the last barrier to safety, the barbed wire fence at the border. This crisis is far from over. Aid is now beginning to reach the refugees on a large scale. The World Food Programme distributed 2 weeks' worth of rice to 150,000 people this week. But more has to be done. The UN says a massive effort is needed by the international community to scale up the aid effort here, and it is easy to see why, because it is still so chaotic. It is 3 weeks into this crisis,
And the truth is that most refugees have received no help whatsoever from the international aid organisations.
The flow of refugees does seem to have begun to slow, but thousands of Rohingyas are still crossing the border every day, bringing with them more stories of death and of horror.